What's up out there to all of my fellow gold diggers? This is your girl Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you. But if you are a fellow gold digger, welcome back because I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. Tonight, we are going to be answering your insurance questions, and I have a special guest on. She'll be coming on momentarily. Before I do that, let me just check my social media accounts really, really quickly just to make sure everything is going okay. We're good there. And I'm going to check one other spot. And then we are going to get started. If this is your first time to Tipsy Tuesday, pretty much what we do is we take some sips as I share some tips with you guys. And I got water and I got some wine. I had to be a little fancy tonight since we have a special guest on. Let me know what you are sipping on in the comment section. You don't have to drink anything alcoholic. And also, let's go get into these church announcements so I can bring our guest to the stage because she cannot be here all night. So if you got questions for her, I have some questions for her. But if you have some questions for her, please put it into the chat. All right. So really quickly, we have been talking about Get Good with Money, Tiffany A's book. Last week was our topic about insurance, which is what prompted me to bring on our guest speaker on this evening to answer some of our questions. Because I told y'all last week, looking through all of that stuff, health insurance, life insurance, auto insurance, home insurance, disability insurance, it was like alphabet soup. So I was like, in case I didn't explain it well, I was going to bring someone on here to answer your questions in case you needed more in-depth information. I had questions, so I was like, let me just bring on somebody who actually talks about that. But we are going to continue with the book next week. Next week, we'll be talking about investments and retirement, so make sure you tune in for that. Also, Side Hustle Saturday is going to be on June 22nd. And we may have a guest on that Side Hustle Saturday too. So I'm still working out some details. So be sure to check it out. Even if we don't have a guest, it's going to be a good Side Hustle Saturday. But without further ado, let me bring to the stage our special guest and our insurance expert, Miss Tiffany Warren.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Rita, for having me.
You are more than welcome. Y'all make sure y'all show Tiffany some love in the chat. Give us some hand claps, give us some fire emojis, all that kind of stuff, just so she'll know that y'all love and appreciate her. All right, so Tiffany, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do as an insurance agent, or I'm gonna call you an insurance expert, so I hope that's okay.
Let's say agent.
Agent, expert, tomato.
No, but like Rita said, my name is Tiffany A. Warren, and I am an insurance agent in the wonderful state of South Carolina. I am associated with Jones Benefits. Jones Benefits is a full service insurance agency. So what does that mean? Full service insurance agency means we offer the auto, we offer the home, we offer the commercial, which is considered property and casualty, and we also offer health insurance, and we also offer life insurance. So that's basically what a full service insurance agency means you offer just about all the aspects of insurance, from the property and casualty to the health and to the life. I started out in the insurance industry in 2005, where I started out doing medical billing and claims, and then I transitioned over to the agent side in 2012, and I have been loving every minute of it.
Awesome. That sounds good. That sounds good. So Tiffany has been doing this for a very long time. That's why I'm saying she's an expert, but she's not claiming that yet. So Tiffany, tell us, what is something, since you encounter probably all kinds of people, all kinds of issues and stuff like that, what would you consider one of the most important things someone should know regarding insurance that people often don't know or maybe forget about?
I think to a certain extent, It probably would be, if I had to say one, it would be the life insurance. And the reason why I say that is because there's one fold is sometimes the younger generation, and I was guilty of it too until I got into the industry, think, oh, we're going to live forever and we don't have to have
Mm-mm.
the life insurance, which is contrary. If there's two things that we're going to do is once we're born, we are going to die. So that's one thing I would say. The other aspect of the life insurance is a lot of people think, well, it's not going to be my responsibility. I'm dead, so I'm going to leave that to my family to figure out. That's one of the worst things
Mm.
that you can also do. First of all, you have a family that's grieving because you're deceased. The last thing you want to do on them is also give them an expense in addition to the grieving. So I would have to say the life insurance aspect. And also, a lot of people think, life insurance is just for the dead. But it's just as it says, life insurance. Some life insurance you can utilize while you're living. And of course, we'll get into that.
Yes, and you're referencing whole life insurance versus term life insurance and everything. I know, yeah, for me, I didn't think what's the point of me having life insurance
Right.
until I realized like once you pass away, you want to make sure if you owe any debts, if you
Mm-hmm.
have a home or something like that, whatever, if you have anyone who is dependent on you for a source of income, so any children, especially like disabled children or somebody who cannot work or on their own or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
then you want to make sure you have a life insurance policy in place to help take care of them. And so, like she was saying, they are grieving. So they don't want to be also grieving and worrying about how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to make this
Correct.
mortgage payment and all these different things? So having the life insurance is definitely important. And I know people like, we see those GoFundMe's for burying people and stuff like that. But having some kind of life insurance in place is definitely key.
And
Yeah.
a lot of
Mhm.
times it's a sore topic because nobody wants to talk about death, which I get and I understand. But you have to have that conversation at some point in time. Do you have to talk about it every day? Absolutely not. But there's a point in time where you have to sit down with your family and have that decision, have that discussion. Not only that, when you do have life insurance, you need to let your family know where your policies are. Say, hey, my
Yes.
policies are in a safe or my policies are under the mattress, wherever the case may be, because that's another thing we encounter too, is where, Miss Susie passed away and her children are trying to find the life insurance policies. Make sure you let them know where that information is.
Yes, that is very, very important. Is there a way? And I see we have some people joining. Let me just put them on real quick. What's up, Ancan? Girl, you are fine. She's talking about, excuse my tardiness. Girl, you right on time.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, Tiffany says, hey. And then we got Cynthia. What's up, Cynthia? She says hi, and she liked and shared. And Cynthia was also, no, Ann was saying hi to Cynthia. And Still Rocks is on. Good to see you as well. And he says, we are in here. So good to see y'all. Please,
Hi.
yes, if y'all have any questions for Tiffany, please put them in the chat. I'm asking some questions right now. She is a licensed insurance agent for South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and Mississippi. And I am going to put her information on the screen as well.
Now,
So
one
that
thing I did want to say, Rita, you was talking about, oh, I don't know if I can get through this. I'm gonna need your help. I want you to brush your shoulders off because you did amazing last week. You were
oh,
so like,
thank
oh,
you,
these analogies and all that. Brush
girl.
your shoulders off. Let's
I was
give
like,
her
there's
a
too
round of
many.
applause because
These
you
was
did
too many
good.
acronyms and abbreviations. I was like, this too much.
No, you did good last week. The little bit that I was able to catch, you did good.
Well, thank you, because I was like, ooh, child, this it was a lot and all the different things, and then I was just trying to make sure, like the premium and the deductible. I was like, let me just keep these straight.
Right, right, right. And one thing, since we are on life insurance, I know last week you did talk some about, term life and you talked some about whole life. I just kind of want to piggyback on some of the things that you did say. Just
Go
like
ahead.
you said, term is for a certain amount of term, a time period. And then after that, it ends, and then you will
Mhm.
have to purchase more insurance if that's your option at your current age. Also, whole life will last you the whole of life. Also, with the whole life, it does build up cash value, as you did mention last year, over a few years, where you are able to borrow from it, things of that nature. Here's two things with that. When you do borrow from it, they will either, let's just say, for example, if they say, oh, you have $5,000 in it, you have a whole life
Mhm.
policy and it's 50,000, and you borrowed 5,000. You have the option to pay that $5,000 back over time, or you can do the lesser amount for your face value. So then you will have 45,000. So those are two
Oh,
options also. You can pay the 5,000 back, or you can just take the lesser amount of the 5,000, which would be the 45,000 if you had a $50,000 policy.
now when you pay it back, you be paying it back with interest, or we paying it back just 5,000?
Now you do, it depends. Some companies you do have some interest, but here's the thing on what I like to say, you're paying yourself back. So you're not paying the banks or anybody else back, you're paying yourself back.
Okay. Okay.
Because
Well,
that's
that.
like me. I have a whole life policy. And when I was transitioning over from my 9 to 5 to my entrepreneurship, you know how we always got them little bumps in the roads, and how, we're trying to get new systems in place and things of that
Mhm.
nature. So I borrowed from my cash value on my whole life and set my business up properly how I wanted, different systems, and I paid myself back. But you do have that option where you pay yourself back, or either you could take the lesser amount
Lesser amount from what you have taken from
from
when
what
you
you
borrow.
borrowed, right?
Okay.
So it's there for you to use it. You use it how you deem necessary.
Now we do have a question.
Okay.
Um, oh, thank y'all. Cynthia says, which is the best? Term life versus whole life is the biggest question people usually ask about.
Right. I think it depends on the individual. I don't like to say what's best for me is also going to be best for you, Miss Cynthia, or best for John. And the reason being is, me myself, I have some term and I have some whole life, because my term is going to leave me at a certain amount. If I outlive my term, I still have that whole life. Now, of course, with the term policy, you can get a higher face amount. The face amount is basically the death amount for a lower premium. The
Mm-hmm.
whole life, of course, is a little higher, but you will have it the whole of life.
The whole life.
So here's one thing that we do also. You have to look at your expenses. Okay, do you have a mortgage? Do you have kids? Are you trying to pay tuition? And if that's the case, also, then we recommend, you get that term, because you can get that larger amount. You can get the 500,000. You can get the million, whatever the case you want in that term. So in the event, say for example, if it's a 30-year term and you die within that 30-year term, then the death amount is the million, and you still can pay your mortgage off. You can still have the tuition for the kids and all that stuff. Then also you will have your whole life if you decide to go that route too, in the event you outlive that 30-year term.
Now with the whole life, so and even once you pass away with the whole life, your family is still going to get whatever the cash value is as well.
You would get the face amount. So say for example, if you got a whole life policy and it was 50,000 and you've had it for 5 years and you pass away, your family will get the 50,000.
The 50,000. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, so it still works out the same way for the family, whether you get the term or the whole. They're going to get whatever the value of the policy is
It's
to
just
help
that the
cover the
term will
expense.
last you the life, and the whole will last you the life. The term will expire.
Yep. So just think term is going to be terminated at a certain
Right.
point. Whole life is going to
It's
last you
whole.
that whole time. So, but either way, your family is going to get the money of whatever. Well, if you die within that certain term. But if for the whole life, they'll still get the money, depending on.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's just not in a time frame on it.
Yes.
Right.
And you can possibly, well, not possibly, you can borrow from your whole.
You can borrow
if you need to.
Exactly. You can borrow from your whole, because your whole life, it builds cash value over a certain amount of time. Now, I don't want people to think that, okay, I got this whole life policy today, tomorrow I got $5,000 in it. No, it takes some years to build up the cash value. However, it's there if you need it. It does take some time, but whole life, it does build cash value where you are able to borrow from it. And like we said earlier, you can either pay it back, or you can just take a lesser amount for your face amount
from it. And I think she was saying in the book, it takes about 10 years, but I do know that book came out in like 2021, 2022. So I don't know if things have changed. And I would just say too, y'all don't borrow all your daggone life insurance money away now.
They won't allow you to borrow it all.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good. I'm like, then your family looking at $1,000 and like, what in the world you gonna get cremated with this amount? But
right. But yeah, and you're right. It does take some time. It basically kind of depends on the amount of time it takes. It depends on how much you have in there, how much your face amount, all that plays a factor.
Plays a role.
I just don't want you to think, oh, I got it today and then tomorrow I can borrow from it. No, it takes some time.
It takes some time. And just really quickly, you're doing a good job.
Thank you,
Tiffany. Cynthia says that is something me and my children have been talking about, using whole life insurance as a family bank.
Right.
And Ann Kent is giving you some kudos. She says this is good, so good, very easy to understand.
Thank you so much. But Miss Cynthia, if that is something that you and your family have been talking about, then I always tell people, if it's something that's on your mind, then take action. Find you a local agent, somebody you can trust, talk with them, sit down, look at the numbers and see what's best for you and your family.
Now, let me ask you this. Since you are an insurance agent, how do we go about finding someone who is a good agent and has our best interests at heart? Because, and not someone, I know you do this full time, and I'm not knocking anybody who's doing it part time, because I'm big on side hustles and getting some extra income. But how do we find somebody who is going to make sure we get the best policy, so to speak?
Right. Well, one thing that you can do, if you do know a insurance agent that might not be servicing your state, you can reach out to them and say, hey, I'm in South Carolina or I'm in North Carolina, wherever the case may be. Do you know any good agents that have life insurance? Because they have a circle of their peers that they can refer you to. If that's not one of the cases, then I would suggest Google and look it up. Look at their reviews. Look at their social media. See, what the reviews say. See if you think you would work well with them. That's another way.
Okay, awesome. Now, we talked about life insurance. We talked about term. We talked about whole. So I know, like with auto insurance, they look at your credit score. They look at your driving record. Not with health insurance, with life insurance, they look at your health. Is there any other factors they're looking at when it comes to life? Are they looking at our insurance? Our credit score when it comes to life insurance?
Not necessarily. With the life insurance, it's more so they're looking at your age. They're looking at your health, like you said. They're looking at your occupation. They're looking at, of course, whether you're a smoker and non-smoker. And the reason why they do that is all those things play a role in how your body operates, the type of person you are, and all that. Because a lot of times these insurance companies, they're not seeing you face to face. So they're trusting the agent to do the job. And that's why a lot of times some of them do physicals and some of them just do questions. Also,
I didn't know there's some that just do questions.
I work with quite a few that only does questions. Now, here's the thing. You can go on there and I can ask you the questions, are you a smoker or non-smoker? Do you have high blood pressure, diabetes? You can say no. I could check no. But please know that the insurance companies are not going off just what you and I said. They are going to run a medical background on you to make sure what you said on the application was true.
Matches up. So basically, what Tiffany is saying, don't lie on your application and
Please
anything.
don't, because go ahead, Rita.
That's insurance fraud, and anything that you do that increases your likelihood of dying quickly is going to make it harder for them to want to insure you. So, like smoking and things of that nature, and I hate to say, and health issues, some of that you have no control over. Like if you have some kind of chronic medical condition, but that is what they're looking at is life insurance. How likely are you to live for this particular period of time if you get term, or how long? I know they have all kinds of calculators that they use to determine what your lifespan might be.
Right.
And so if you are a risky investment, I'm sure your policy, your premium is going to be higher.
Correct. And just like you said, we know people have pre-existing conditions. So there are companies out here that will accept you, don't hack any health questions. But like you said, your premium is going to be a little higher. But I don't want anyone to think just because they don't have A1 health that you cannot get life insurance, because that's far from the truth. There's companies out here that ask questions. There's companies out here that don't ask questions, but the premium can increase. That's why I always recommend somebody, like we were talking earlier, to sit down, talk with the agent. Don't just assume, don't Google everything, and see what your options are. Because a lot of times people talk their self outed without knowing all the facts.
Yeah. And also, if you do have health issues, that is good for you to know. Like, don't think that you just aren't going to qualify for health insurance, or you're going to have to pay this, this high price or whatever. There are companies out there that are willing to work with individuals who have health conditions. That's good to know, because my thinking was they don't want to touch these people or whatever, or they
that's not that's not the case. Some ask questions and some don't. But like we said too, your premium may be a little higher, but still sit down. You know what your budget is. You know what you can spend.
Exactly. And let's see. I think Still Rocks has a question. He says, Tiffany, thanks for being here. What's a good way to get insurance part-time? I was thinking the company, what is that? Live Ops, they wanted a national license. I only have a Georgia license. So I guess you're trying to be an insurance agent. Is that what you're saying, Still Rocks? Or getting insurance as a part-time employee?
Yeah. Because most of the time, sometimes it just depends on what you're doing. If you're going to do part-time employee, it depends on the company. Sometimes they request that you be an agent, and sometimes they don't. So I guess we need to get a little clarification on that, and I'll be glad to answer.
Mm-hmm. And he'll let us know. I know Still Rocks will let us know.
But yeah, come on, we'll love to have you in the industry now.
Yeah, Tiffany might be hiring. Now, Tiffany, so they say you should shop around for insurance, but I get it. But what makes like one insurance company? Why is the price? Maybe is your premium might be $300, but the same benefits you have with another company might be $500. Like, what determines the actual cost of the premium, or how is that factored in?
Well, here's the thing. Every insurance company has their own, actuaries, their own system. So that's why some of the time the premium's different, and they have their own pool of drivers. So you're in a pool of drivers in your zip code, in your age bracket, with the company. And I don't want to name any specific companies, but we do have some companies out here that will only accept preferred drivers. Preferred drivers are those drivers who may not have any accidents, may not have any speeding tickets. If they do, they only have one. If that's the case, they are kind of the younger age between the 30 to the 50 age. And so when they have a large pool of that, they are able to offer the discounts to their insureds.
Okay.
But if my company has a pool where I got Susie Mae that has 5 tickets, I got Mr. Larry that got 4, accidents, then we're spreading that around.
Okay.
And so when we spread that around,
it
then
caused the
that's
price
why
to go
some
up.
of the rates are a little higher. Because you may know what some of these insurance companies, you've gotten a speeding ticket or you got in an accident, and a few months later you got that letter, hey, we're no longer accepting you as a client of ours. You have to get insurance by June 15th. And
Well,
that's why they're keeping their pool, their risk low.
so, and with them keeping their risk low, that also will help them keep the premiums low.
There you
So
go.
some of these companies where the premiums might be higher is because they accepting Sally Sue and everybody who got all
That may
kinds of
be it. And
driving.
also, not, I don't want to say just that because it's a lot of different factors go into it, but that's one of them. Also, the zip code that you're living.
Mm-hmm.
Are there a lot of accidents in that zip code? That's another one. Also the drivers that's in that area. So it's a
Accidents,
lot
and
of
I'm guessing thefts and stuff. Like if you're in an area
correct.
with break-ins and stuff like
Correct. All that goes into play, but that's just one aspect of it. So
that.
yeah, when
Okay.
you get those and it says, "Hey, we're no longer considering you as a client," you got to find it. Then you know why.
And I was just listening to a podcast. It just so happened they were talking about car insurance, and I was like, "Oh, this is so apropos because Tiffany gonna be coming on and talking about it." But
Right.
they were saying you should shop around for like car insurance rates every 6 to 12 months because that's how often the insurance companies are like recalculating their rates and stuff.
And that's true. So here's the thing: you have renewal dates, and with some auto insurance companies, it's 6 months, just like they're said, and it's 12 months. So
Mm-hmm.
here's what they do: when the renewal time comes around, let's just say, for example, if your policy was from June until December, you had an accident in June. They won't look at that accident or anything. They
Okay.
won't start looking at it until it's renewal time. They look to see, oh, did they have any accidents? Did they have any speeding tickets? Has their zip code changed? And then they factor all that in. They say, oh, we might need to increase her premium some. So that's one of the reasons why they say 6 to 12 months. But here's the thing: if your insurance company only increased your premium by $3 or $4, then no, you don't have to shop
Mm-hmm.
around every time. But now, if they have increasing it 3, 4, 500, then you like, oh yeah, it's time to shop around.
Yeah.
You know when it's time to shop around.
Yes, that's crazy.
But
So, and here's the thing I want to say too. I know a lot of people are loyal to insurance companies and they feel like they'll get a better rate because they have been with the insurance company for 5, 10 years or whatever. But these insurance companies don't care. I shouldn't say they don't care about you because you're the insurance agent, but you don't
we
have to
care
be.
about y'all. I don't care what Rita say. We care about y'all.
They don't care about that premium. But don't just be loyal to an insurance company thinking because of your long history with them, you might get a better rate because you might get a better rate with the newer people. It's kind of like the phone companies and stuff like that. Like, you be
Offering
with,
discounts and stuff.
yes, for the new customers. So just remember that, especially if it's outside of your price range, it's okay to shop around. And let me see, I'm gonna look at a couple of these comments real quick. Cynthia says, yes, my son is a 22-year-old driver. Oh no, he had an accident. Our premium went up through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
our daughter just got a ticket, and I ain't trying to see what the premium is gonna go up to
But
because
you'll
Lord
see it in
no.
renewal. You'll see it in renewal. It won't affect you right now, but when your renewal comes, it'll do something. But here's the thing, too. Sometimes with the young drivers, we know things gonna happen, even with the older drivers. But also, when you're talking to your agent, make sure you're getting all the discounts that you qualify for. Whether it's now, they have the new technology where you can use the mobile app, or you can do the what they call it, the stick where you put in your car where they
Oh yes.
monitor your
Mm-hmm.
driving per se. You do get discounts for that. Another thing is, if you can afford it, look to see how much it would be to increase your deductible, whether it was $400 or $500, whatever the case may be. Like I said, only if it's in your budget, because it does decrease your premium. However, if you have an accident, make sure you have that so that you can pay. Because a lot of people say, well, I'll increase my deductible so it could go down. Right, and that's good, but I don't want you to put yourself in a situation where you increase your premium, but you can't afford it in the event you have a claim.
Exactly.
So,
and that's what we're talking about with Get Good with Money. We talked about having that emergency fund. So if something happens, that would be considered an emergency. You'll have money to cover it. Now, what I also didn't know though is that your insurance can go up too if you're in an accident, but you weren't the one at fault if the other person was the one. So y'all just
it can go up some because it's called the at fault. And here once again we're using that word accident. So you still were in an accident even though you were at fault. And it just kind of depends on the company. A lot of times they, we say you're not at fault. It may go up some and it may not, but it does depend on the company because it's still stated as an accident.
Yes. So what I'm learning from car insurance, and I guess it applies for like home insurance, is like we really, you got to look out for one another. Y'all be safe, not just for yourself, because you don't want to get into an accident. Or if you live in a zip code and it's a whole lot of accidents or people driving crazy, your premiums can go up. Same thing probably for you, like your home insurance, I guess like when storms come through and people have claims, but also if there's vandalism or thefts and stuff like that, or break-ins, whether it's in your home or your car in that area, that can cause your insurance to go up. So it's like, just look out for your neighbor. We should all be working together.
Always remember, and I remember I learned this in driver's ed. I can't remember who our driver's ed teacher was, Rita. You remember
it was a coach, but I can't remember.
Right. He said, you are driving for the other person. And I never really knew what, until I started driving, especially nowadays. Oh yeah, we driving for the other person. Like, because I'm like, where's your signal? What are you doing? So we are driving for the other person.
Yes. So be careful out there. Be careful. All right, let's see. We got a few more comments. Cynthia says, so I do shop around, especially if the company doesn't offer me a loyal customer discount. Good. Right. What are some other discounts we can get? You said about the little safe driver.
You could do that. You can also get like continuous safe driver, whether it's been 3 years, 5 years. You can also get whether your child may be like in high school or college and on the AB honor roll. They offer discounts like that. Yeah, you will have to.
Do we have to ask for that, or they would mention it or offer it to us?
It depends on your agent. But if I were you, if you're not getting it, I would call to see if they offer that, and you will have to show. Sometimes you have to show their report card.
What else?
Right. You might have to show their report card. AB honor roll. What's another one? Oh, continuous driver, having insurance for a few years or whatever. Okay. If you are a homeowner, even if you don't have your home insurance with the same auto insurance company, they do give discounts for being homeowners.
I'm writing all this down.
so that's definitely a few. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna say what discount. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna just ask the agent, like, what discounts do you have? Right. I'm like, yep, I qualify for that. I qualified for that. I might even qualify for a senior citizen discount. Shoot.
Right. And just like Miss Cynthia said, she does shop around, if they don't offer the loyalty discount. And not just that, shop around if you're not satisfied with your agent. If you can't get in touch with your agent, if you're not satisfied with the customer service, because I hear a lot of people say, oh, my agent never called me back. My agent did so-and-so. What? We're not accepting that. This year, we pay the premium. We need a call back, or we need somebody to say, hey, I'm going to call you back shortly, whatever the case may be. We are not accepting no callbacks. We are not accepting these agents not to have to do their job. We're not doing that this year. So if you're not satisfied, definitely shop around.
And you see why she an insurance agent expert? Dude, this AB honor roll continuous shoot. She is the expert.
Said, I'm not loyal to any company. I am more loyal to. There you go, Miss Cynthia. That's right. That's right.
Miss Cynthia is a mess.
That's right.
She says,
that's me. I check in at least every month to see if there's a discount that was overlooked at the hospital. Right.
Oh, right. Every month. Cynthia, you be holding out on us. You should have told me this. And then she said she got a college student discount, bundle discount, and
See?
for multiple. I knew you could get it for multiple vehicles, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know about the honor roll thing.
Yeah.
They
They
just
say AB or like they say student discount, whatever. But yeah, you definitely can. So definitely call your agent or your insurance company tomorrow and see if they offer that.
yeah, we gonna need something to kind of counterbalance that ticket and everything.
Right. Right. Well, that ticket not going to affect you right now. It's going to affect you somewhat at renewal.
Well, I just want them to know we ain't trying to pay nothing higher, Lord.
So I know you were saying something about homeowners. Somebody had a question about homeowners.
Just the homeowners. She got that as part of her discount.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, since we are talking about that, if you are a homeowner, I know your premiums may have skyrocketed over the last year or so, but don't shoot the messenger because I feel your pain. So here's what's going on with that. And it's similar to the auto insurance too. For some reason, I don't know why people think that inflation doesn't affect the insurance industry, but it does. So with the cost of everything going up from labor, material, all that stuff, that's one of the reasons why the insurance companies are increasing premiums, because now it's taking more money to fix the vehicles in the event of an accident. Their turnaround time is much longer. I had someone had to wait 6 to 7 months before they could get their vehicle fixed from where a deer hit them.
Wow.
Because they couldn't get certain parts in.
Wow.
So the turnaround time is a little longer. So all that weighs a factor. Also with the homeowners, because everything is higher, cost of materials, everything. If something happened to your home and it was deemed a total loss, it will take more to repair it now or replace it than it did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So the premium has gone up because the coverage amount has gone up.
Okay. So just so you just letting us know. So it's probably gonna go up again.
And of course, now here's my thing. I am hoping that soon we'll have some stability. I'm hoping that comes next year, but I don't know. But that's one of the reasons why. And of course, if you have a mortgage, then the mortgage increase, because your mortgage payment consists of, and they call it PITA, it's your principal, it's your interest, it's your taxes, and it's your insurance. So of course, taxes, there's nothing really you can do about the taxes. So the next thing is for you to start shopping around for the insurance. You can either shop around or, like we said, see what other discounts they're offering, or either increase your deductible.
Okay, so good to know. So it's probably gonna go up soon. Now, for people who don't have insurance, or if someone let their insurance lapse, what steps can they take? Like, are you penalized from letting your insurance lapse, whether it's like auto insurance, home insurance? Like, what steps can you take to kind of like remedy that?
Yes. So you still can get insurance regardless if it lapses. However, yes, your premiums will tend to be a little higher. Reason being is you were without coverage. So not only will you have a little higher premium with the insurance company, you also have to go and pay the DMV also. So there's fees on top of fees with that. That's why we always say try your best not to let your policy lapse. Even if you know, oh, I don't get paid to the 15th and the day is the 10th, call your insurance company, see what they can do, because sometimes they can push your payment back a little further or whatever the case may be. We always tell people try not to let your policy lapse.
And is it possible to, if you know, like, hey, I cannot make my payment, is it possible for them to like rework their insurance to like a lower thing? Like maybe if they have auto insurance, now instead of them having, maybe they have comprehensive, they reduce it to liability so they still are covered. Or if they have homeowners insurance, you know, maybe they reduce how much they're covered for. Is that a possibility or not really?
It is, but it's a twofold. So say, for example, if today is the 15th and my payment is due the 17th or the 18th, and I say, oh, hey, Miss Susie, I can't make my payment. I don't get paid to the 17th. Can I decrease the coverage? You can, but here is the thing. It won't take effect on that bill. So it won't take effect to the next month bill.
Okay.
Because of how the cycle of the bills work. Even though it will go into effect then, you won't see the decrease until the next bill.
The next one. Now, I know somebody probably had this question and might not want to ask. How many payments can we miss before y'all deem it as lapsed?
Well, here's the thing. And each insurance company is different. So normally your payments are due in a 30-day cycle. After the 30 days, if you hadn't made your payment, they normally will send out a late notice within 5 days saying, hey, your payment is late. After that, they give you another 14-day grace period.
Okay.
To make the payment. So you do have at least 45 days.
Okay.
That's if it's not your renewal. If it's just your normal monthly payment, if it's your renewal, it automatically cancels on that day. The only time those grace periods go into effect is when it's your monthly payment. The renewal, it cancels that day at 12:01 a.m. because that's considered the next day.
Yeah, don't play around if it's time for your renewal. So, but you got about 45-day grace period to get your money right.
Because you're paying, and the reason why I say 45 day is because it's automatically giving you that 30-day before it's due, and then they give you another 14 and 15 days. So
another 2 weeks and everything. Okay. Let's see. We gotta let Miss Tiffany go soon. So if someone wanted to reach out to you, we have your information, but is there anything you want to share about your company, or what's the process if someone works with you and everything? Let me put your information on the screen.
And I still got a little more time if we got to answer some more questions. I got about another 10 minutes or so. So here's the thing with me. I try to make everything seamless and efficient as possible. So we know technology, and as I stated earlier, I am a system girl. I love systems. So you can actually go to our website, which is, Rita has it up here, jonesbenefit.com. You can click one button and it automatically takes you to where you can get a quote. You can also click another button and it automatically lets you live chat with an agent immediately. The turnaround chat with an agent is 30 seconds. So in case you have any questions or anything before you submit the quote, you can do that. Also, you can call me at the 803-713-1499. The turnaround time to speak with someone on that is 15 seconds.
Oh, wow. She said she don't play around.
No, I love systems. The turnaround time is 15 seconds to speak with us. So that number, the 713-1499, you can call or text that number, or you can go directly to the website, like I said, where you can do the quote, or you can live chat with an agent.
Okay. And you do life, home, auto. Do you do disability?
We do short-term disability. However, we do it in a group setting. We don't do individual.
Okay. So you have to be part of a company.
Correct.
For the short-term disability. Do you do business insurance?
Yes, I do commercial insurance. Yeah.
What about pet insurance? Now let me
I do pet insurance, and it's pretty popular while you sleeping on it. But yeah. I ain't got no pet. So we do offer pet insurance, but we do like I said, we're a full service insurance agency. Although we're located in Camden, South Carolina, we service the entire state of South Carolina. Once again, like I said, we have system in place where you can do your signatures and everything electronically. We do auto, we do home, we do life, we do health, and we do commercial.
So whatever you need, she's your girl, and she can get you right and get you set up. Now, let me ask this. If someone does reach out, how long does it take for the policy to be in place? Does it start like at the beginning of the month, or once they make their payment, that's when the policy goes into effect, or what?
Well, here's the thing. If it's auto and they say, I wanted to start today, it can start that day and you'll have to make your payment. If it's homeowners, you can start it that day also, and we can bill. If you have a mortgage company, we'll bill your mortgage company.
Okay. Okay.
If you don't have a mortgage company, then yes, you will have to make the payment to start it that day. But most of them, we started the same day with your payment or with the mortgage company.
Okay. So you can get insured that day. And you said health too. And same thing for health?
The health is a little different. The health is on a 30-day cycle. So say, for example, if you contacted us January, well, I say June 5th, then your health insurance will start the beginning of the following month, which will be July 1st.
Okay. And are there any limitations when it comes to health insurance for qualifying for that? Or and if so, like, are you like, you can't be totally disqualified from health insurance because it's like a mandate that
Right.
everybody has
They've
to have
changed that a few years ago. There's no questionnaire. You cannot be disqualified because of pre-existing conditions. No, the only question they basically ask you anything somewhat health related is if you're a smoker and non-smoker.
it. Okay.
They
And
you
most,
can't go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
They can't disqualify you because of pre-existing conditions.
Okay. And most
Now
people
with the health,
go ahead.
now with the health insurance, of course, if you are doing the marketplace insurance, what they call Obamacare, there are special enrollment periods. The enrollment period for that, and there are enrollment periods just like on your job. So this enrollment period is normally from November 1st through January 15th. If you get your policy in between from November 1st through December 15th, it will start January 1st. But if you get it in January, it will start February 1st.
Okay, sounds good. And I guess to wrap it all up, are there any cautionary tales? Are there any horror stories that you've had from your clients? I know you can't tell nobody names that we can use as a warning to ourselves, like, don't be like this person. But Tiffany don't want to put nobody business out there.
I don't. But I do have a funny story I would like to tell.
Okay.
So I have this client who's been without insurance, I'll say maybe 4 or 5 years, right? So he got coverage about a year ago. And, I referred him to a primary care provider. He loves them and everything. So I called him one day just to check on and see how the policy and everything was working for him. Now, mind you, he's been without coverage 4 or 5 years, so he hasn't gone to a provider or anything. And so I called him and I'm like, well, Mr. Jones, how's the policy and everything? He's like, oh, the policy is fine. It's the doctor. So I'm like, oh, my goodness, what's wrong with the doctor? He said, oh, it's nothing with the doctor. But now he's running all these tests. He said, I wasn't sick till I started going to the doctor.
People are a mess.
No, you had some health conditions. It's just that,
you didn't know about them.
He said, I wasn't sick till I started going to the doctor.
People are something else. Like, no, you just didn't know you had this going on.
Exactly.
But we trying to get you right so you can still be here. So
exactly. No other questions, Rita? Nobody had any other questions?
No, she only thing we have a comment, not Cynthia, excuse me. Ann Ken says she wished that you lived in her state so you could be her agent.
Oh, thank you so much. What state are you in? What state she's in?
Ann Ken, I don't know. I just sent you something. I don't even know. I want to say it was up north somewhere.
Okay. But thank you so much.
But yes, see, she is our insurance expert.
Oh, well, I'll take it.
See, she probably took it at the end. Insurance expert. Okay, she said she was in Illinois.
Oh, I'm supposed to come to Chicago in another month or so. That's one of my favorite places to visit. But thank you so much.
And maybe she'll run into some agents and she can recommend somebody in your area.
Right. Because my family used to live in Schaumburg. Are you familiar with Schaumburg? Let's see what she says.
I ain't even heard of that, but I ain't from Illinois. I heard of Chicago. And I forgot to tell y'all too, Tiffany and I were classmates. We are high school classmates and everything. So that is where I know Tiffany from. We grew up in the same town. She is still out there in our little town of Camden, South Carolina, holding it down and
Yes.
helping people with their insurance needs. And she has always been amazing, awesome, so kind, so sweet, and just a blessing to anyone
Thank
that she
you.
meets.
I
Yes.
appreciate that, Sharita. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So if no more questions, we're gonna let Tiffany go because she got work to do tomorrow. Okay. She can't be playing around with y'all. All right. But thank y'all so much for joining. Thank y'all so much for
Thank
interacting.
you.
Thank you, Tiffany, for coming
Thanks
on
for
and
having
answering.
me.
Yes, you answered our questions. You gave me some information. Like I said, I was writing down them discounts. Can we get discounts on health? Homeowners, do these discounts apply for that?
Right. Homeowners, you can get certain discounts. Like I said, if you have, do you bundle?
We do bundle, yes.
So you probably already getting that discount. The age of the home, sometimes they give a discount for the age of the home.
Okay.
So that's some of the ones to look at.
I can't get no discounts on my health or my life though, huh?
Not that I'm aware of, no. No.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let them go. And Tiffany, hang around just a minute once I log off of here. But thank y'all so much for joining, and I will see y'all next Tuesday for Tipsy Tuesday. Take care, everyone,
Have a good night,
wonderful
everybody.
week. All right.